immediately at home with us and we with them in our relationships. Dietrich Bonhoeffer wrote the following words in a letter to his parents 3 months after being jailed for his crimes against the Nazi government. This letter is found in the book Letters and Papers from Prison and is dated July 3rd, 1943. When the bells of the prison chapel start ringing at about 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening, that is the best time to write home. It's remarkable what power church bells have over human beings and how deeply they can affect us. So many of our life experiences gather around them. All discontent, ingratitude, and selfishness melt away, and in a moment we are left with only pleasant memories hovering around us like gracious spirits. I always think first of those quiet summer evenings in Friedrichsbrunn, and then of all the different parishes that I've worked in. I've now been in prison for 3 months. I'm dreaming more than ever that I have been released and back to you at home. The daylilies have been simply lovely. Their cups open slowly in the morning and bloom only for a day. The next morning there are fresh ones to take their place. The day after tomorrow, they will all be over. A year later, Bonhoeffer was still writing from prison, but now with much more introspection. No longer was he being lifted up by memories of home triggered by the sounds of chapel bells. A year of prison hardships had taken their toll, and in July of 1944, he included the following thoughts in another letter. He entitled these thoughts, written up in a verse form, as, "Who am I? Who am I? They often tell, may I step from my cell's confinement calmly, cheerfully, firmly, like a squire from his country house. Who am I? They often tell me I talk to the waters freely and friendly and clearly, as though it was mine to command. Who am I? They also tell me I bear the days of misfortune equally, smilingly, proudly, like one accustomed to win. Am I really then all that which other men tell of? Or am I only what I know of myself, restless, longing, and sick, like a bird in a cage, struggling for breath, yearning for colors from voices of birds, thirsting for words of kindness, powerlessly trembling for friends at an infinite distance, weary and empty at praying, at thinking, at making, faint, and ready to say farewell to it all? Who am I? This or the other? Am I one person today and tomorrow another? Am I both at once? A hypocrite before others and before myself, a contemptibly woe-begone weakling? Who am I? They mock me, these lonely questions. Whoever I am, thou knowest, O God, I am thine. Whoever I am, thou knowest, O God, I am thine. That last sentence is not a belief statement. It's a faith statement. Belief is a matter of the head. Faith is a matter of the heart. Belief is about accepting a set of correct propositions, the Trinity, the virgin birth, the infallibility of the Scriptures, etc. Faith is about having a relationship with God. Or as Bonhoeffer said, knowing that I am God's. Belief can leave us with many questions and doubts, and sometimes in very dark places. Faith is what gets us through the hard times and the dark days. Bonhoeffer was well acquainted with another prisoner because of his convictions, Paul the Apostle. Another faith statement found over and over in Paul's writings is to be in Christ. This is not a belief statement, but a witness of experienced faith. For Paul, Christ was in him, and he was in Christ. For Paul also, Christ was in every other person. For Paul, every breath was a breath with God, and every heartbeat was a heartbeat with Christ. For Paul, this being in Christ was his home. And because of that, neither height, nor depth, nor powers, nor principalities, nor any other suffering or discomfort could separate him from his real home in Christ. By offering his disciples the sacrament, Jesus made himself as close as daily bread. Sheila and Dennis Lynn, in a book entitled Sleeping with Bread, tell a story about bread comfort and finding a sense of hope. During the bombing raids of World War II in England, thousands of children were orphaned and left to starve. The fortunate ones were rescued and placed in refugee camps where they received food and good care. But many of these children who had lost so much could not sleep at night. They feared waking up and finding themselves once again homeless and without food. Nothing seemed to reassure them. Finally, someone hit upon the idea to give each child a piece of bread to hold at nighttime and to take to bed with them. And holding their bread, these children could finally sleep in peace. All through the night, the bread reminded them, "Today I ate, and I will eat again tomorrow." Jesus is the bread of life, with whom we are always at home, and who can see us through the darkness of emptiness.